The rest is history, honey. The rest is history.
Welcome back, Conquerors. This is part 2 of how I knew my husband was the one. If you haven't watched part 1, then stop this video right now and go ahead and watch part 1. I'll link it here for you. And if you have watched but you need a little refresher, here you go. You know I got you.
So we sit, we're having conversation on the couch, and then so he's like, I got something for you. And he leaves and he comes back with like a ton of gifts. My husband is a gift giver. My love language is words of affirmation. Your girl, I appreciate the gifts because I'm also very, 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 very cheap, honey. So I think God was just like, look, I'm gonna give you somebody who loves to give gifts, because otherwise you're never going to treat yourself to nicer things. Gifts. Let me tell y'all, this was 6 days after we met. He had a gift for every conversation that we'd had prior to our date. Whenever he learned like one thing, he brought a gift to match that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you listen. Check. You listen. I matter to you. You pay attention. Thank you so much. That was our first date. All right, but let's get into these specifics, okay? One important moment was when I met Sean's family. I met his family like within the first couple of weeks, and they live out of town, but you know, he made an effort to make sure I met his family. We went to his father's church service a few hours away, and y'all, let me tell you, when his dad walked out, his dad being the preacher, I started crying. I just was like so clear to me that that was my husband. I can't explain it, but I'm like tearing up now. It was crazy to me. My husband looks just like his mother, but in that moment he just looked so much like his dad. It just was a thing, and I was like, oh my gosh. After church, you know, we met, we talked, we spent time together, and I was just like, yes. When I met his family, I knew that Sean was going to be my husband. Now, some people might have an issue with this because he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Yes, he got to find you, but you got to have your own standards, your own expectations, so you can know if this is just some erroneous hot mess or if this is in line with the will of God and what he has, you know, ordered for you personally. I also knew because there were absolutely no excuses, y'all. I had been in some horrible relationships. I tolerated all kind of hot mess. I can't talk right now. I can't do this right now. Oh, I couldn't call you back. Oh, I didn't text you back. Oh, I gotta cancel our date. Or oh, I can't even take you on a date. But with Sean, who had legitimate excuses for not being able to spend time or not being able to call back or answer or whatever, which I didn't even like trip about stuff like that. But you know, some people just ghost on you for days. But with Sean, despite his very real and busy life, he was in grad school at the time. Another check because education is important to me. But he made time. He always made time. If he had to sacrifice sleep, he made time. There were so many times in our courtship where I was like, fairy tales are real. And retrospectively, it ain't nobody fairy tale, my God. But what is real is a man who loves you, a man who values you, a man who treasures you, a man who prioritizes you, period. No excuses, no exceptions, only excellence. Another thing that I really admire about Sean then and now, especially then, because now it just, I mean, what choice you got? But then is that he always stayed. I remember our very first argument. Oh, I done went off. For me, I've only known you for a month at this point. So I don't care if I met your family. I don't care about no fairy tale, all this other stuff. Look, I done said what I said. We are done, boo. So he's like, no, I'm leaving. Good. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. See you. Don't let the doorknob hit ya. What a good Lord split ya. I didn't really say that. But, you know, for me, it's just like, it is what it is. This is done. I went ahead. I got in the shower because I'm still going to go where I was about to go, whether you were going or not. You don't change my plan. I'm still going to do what I'm going to do, what I had to do. I'm under the impression that he's gone. I come out the shower and Sean is still there. And he's, you know, waiting patiently and apologetically for, you know, whatever his responsibility in the disagreement was. And it just was like, oh, you don't just give up. You don't just stop. You don't just walk out. You don't just let go. So that was important to me. That's just who he is. He's always going to be there. He's always going to try his best. He's always going to go harder. He's always just going to stick it out. Now, that's important in marriage, girls. It just was different. It was very different. Of course, there was prayer that went into it. There was seeking wisdom from those whom we trust, all of that. But my real down to it, just my heart, my flesh, you know, me being an emotional lover of love, that's my truth. That's how I knew. You let me know about your love story, y'all. I love love. Let me know. Hit the like, subscribe, do all the stuff. See y'all in the next video. Bye.